Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we end the regular race season here with CRA. Tonight we are coming to you live from Daytona 2007 International Speedway for round number 12 of the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Super Speedway Series. I'm your commentator Sean Zulu. I am joined by my good friend and producer Dave Everly. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Sean. Ready to go racing here at Daytona 2007.
Absolutely, this race marks the last race of the regular race season before the chase begins next week. Chase race number 1. Cannot wait. Tonight is the final race the drivers have for them to lock themselves into this chase. But Dave, tell us about tonight's race, please. Otherwise.
Well, we are here at Daytona. It looks like it is a cool 85 degrees out with a track, or 65 degrees out. I do believe that is. I can't really tell. Yeah, it's 65 degrees, track temperature 73 degrees, no wind and clear conditions.
Yep, and as usual, they have a 50% fuel limit. That is 50% of gas, which gives us 3 required pit stops, at least 2 to 3 required pit stops in order for the drivers to be successful here tonight. The full length of the race, 75 laps as usual. And last week we were right here at Daytona 2007 with the K&N cars. We had Paul Servant bring it home for his second win of the season. Jason Kinzer came out second. David Anderson, returning drivers came back last week, came out third. Justin Levine fourth. Sawyer Ott fifth. Thomas Labar sixth. Jeremy Funk seventh. Mark Jorgensen Jr. eighth. Marty Ray finished ninth. And James Peterson did round up the top 10. And Rod Newford did take the pole and led us to our first green flag of the evening. And we had so much harder racing as the drivers tried to get locked into the chase the best way they knew how, which was by keeping that foot down through the floorboard for the better good, or the greater good. And also we had some green flag pit stops, which did spread out the field, leaving a lot of machines alone without any drafting partner or any drafting help, which was a very big negative for them. Well, the race did end under caution with 5 laps to go, and gave it down to the top 5 drivers: Paul Servant, Jason Kinzer, David Anderson, Justin Levine, and Sawyer Ott. Well, moving on to our current point standings, we do have Roy Newford still leading in points, Paul Servant still second in points. Last week he was tied with Travis Stewart for second place, but this time he was able to break that tie and maintain the second place spot in points behind his teammate, Rod Newford. Travis Stewart going from second place down to third. Mark Jorgensen tied for fourth with Remo Ritner the second. We have Dana Osborne fifth place, going from fourth place to fifth. Thomas Labar still sixth in points. Sawyer Ott from eighth place to seventh. Bobby Tinch from ninth to eighth. Gary Champion from seventh to ninth. And Justin Levine and Jeremy Funk both tied for 10th place. Well, that does round up the top 10 drivers in points so far, but going back to tonight's race here, we have the 18 of Gary Champion as our pole-sitter, and Justin Levine right behind him, and so far we only have, 28 drivers putting down a qualifying time. The last driver qualifying is the 87 of Raymond Ritnow the second. We have some new drivers, I should say, returning drivers. We have Christopher Berry, the 81, Jason Rudebush, and also I saw 13 of Tommy Champagne is back, including a new driver, 168 of Scott Sanderson. And looking there in the chat, we do have Timothy Petita. Good to see you there, Tim, and congratulations on your 5th win at Kentucky. And day of tonight, we are running the trucks, and these machines do run open setups here at the Cyber Racing Association this season. So that will make things extra interesting. That means the drivers can set these machines up to the best of their liking, to their driving style. They might want it loose, they might want it tight, they can mess with the tape. They can go high on tape or low on tape. High on tape, which will mean a little bit more speed. At the same time, more overheating. Less tape, less speed. You're still getting there. But at the same time, you do end up conserving your motor for the longest time possible. And Dave, how much experience have you had with the trucks? I know it's been a while since you've raced at Daytona.
Yeah, I don't really race here very often, so I'm not quite sure, Sean.
Oh, that is definitely understandable. And looks like the red flag has flown, not flied, but flown, ending the qualifying session. So we will give the drivers a few seconds before we go down the starting grid. And ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the chat who you're rooting for tonight. We have a lot of amazing drivers throughout this field, so it can be anybody's race. But this is once again the final race of the season before the chase begins, which means final chance to get for the drivers to get themselves locked into this chase. We have 16 spots. As soon as we go green, I will go over the drivers who are already locked into the chase. We only have 2 more spots left into the chase. So only 14 drivers are locked in, and as of starting tonight's race, we're going over the grid so far. The 18 of Gary Champion is still the post sitter. The 4 of Jason Levine starting second. David Anderson, last week's third place finisher, starting third. Scott Sanderson starting fourth. Jason Eisenhower fifth. Marty Ray sixth. Paul Servant seventh. Paul Servant was last week's winner. We have Adam Eisenhower eighth. Mark Jorgensen Jr. ninth. Bobby Tinch 10th, John LaBeouf 11th, Dana Osborne 12th, Rodney Wolford 13th, Daniel Harrington 14th. We have Chris Akers defending champion 15th, Lance Marsh 16th, Thomas Labar 17th, 00 of Dwayne Cooper 18th, 21 of William Flamholtz 19th, Rod Rodimus Sr. Starting 20th, the 13 of Tommy Champagne 21st, 6-2 of Zachary Hale, 22nd. Roger Stewart, 23rd. Travis Stewart, 24th, starting 23rd and 24th. 11, Jason Kinzer, last week's second place finisher, starting 25th. Jeremy Funk, 26th. Matthew Wells and Bach, 27th. We also have last driver qualifying once again, 87 of Rem Ritner II, starting 28th. Gregory Thompson, Jason Rudebush, and Christopher Berry rounding up the rest of the field, giving us a 31 track field tonight. That is 31 drivers, 75 laps, 50% fuel limit, 2 to 3 green flag pit stops, or 2 to 3 required pit stops. In order for the drivers to be successful here tonight, fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, the last race of the regular season before the chase begins. What can go wrong? It's a lot more take than give, maybe all take and no give whatsoever. We are going to see it all. Well, going back up front, drivers are now rolling once again, being led by post sitter 18 of Gary Champion, this time by going green. And we have a new viewer in the chat, Deer Hunter Phil 73. Good to see you there, buddy. And so far, drivers getting bunched up nice and tight. They are stretching right now. They do know it's a long way to go, long race. A lot needs to be done. And in order for them to be successful, they first have to be there until the very end. As right now we focus on the 43 of David Anderson. Behind the 18 of Gary Champion on the outside is the 168 of Scott Sanderson. Yeah, behind the 4 of Jason Levine, 168 of Sanderson, one of my buddies. He is an amazing driver, knows how to get the job done, so we'll keep an eye on him. The pace car dips off. The green flag flies. We are green for the first time, this time by Daytona 2007 with the trucks. The 43 of David Anderson behind the 18 of Gary Champion on the inside.
Well, coming out of turn number 2, still being led by the 18 of Gary Champion. It's Justin Levine is getting a good push from Scott Sanderson out the outside, but Gary Champion's got the 43 of David Anderson on the inside, but looks like that inside line starting to... Oh! We have a big wreck already in the back, a big one, Sean.
Yep, that is going to involve the 62 of Zachary Hale here. Oh, that's not the 62 of Zachary Hale. Gonna try and get some numbers. That was a very big wreck indeed. The 13 of Tommy Champagne, William Flamholtz, Dwayne Cooper, Paul Servant, Daniel Harrington, Thomas Labar, John LaBeouf, Jason Eisenhower, Chris Akers, Adam Eisenhower, and Dana Osborne was riding that wall. Holy cow, Dave. I'm not even sure who to focus on. It looks like started up front with a black machine. That was the 52 of Adam Eisenhower.
Yeah, also involved the 32, the 9 of Paul Servant, also involved there. Let's take a look here from the blimp view, because there's a lot of trucks involved in this. This is a big one early here on lap 2.
Yep, the big junk there in the turn. That's very, very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved. And 52 of Adam Eisenhower was able to go down pit road, get a brand new machine, and will be rolling off here shortly. Heavy smoke on pit road. That is going to be a driver who's going sideways. The 8 of Dana Osborne, 90 degrees, almost 90 degrees to the right. And that machine is turned to the left a lot to keep it straight. And he finally makes his way into his pit stall. And he gets that brand new machine. And off pit road he'll go. But going back up front, we are still being led by Gary Champion, Justin Levine second, Scott Sanderson third, David Anderson fourth, and Marty Ray in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5 so far. Yeah, pit road is a very, very busy place at this point. William Flamholtz, Thomas Labar, Bobby Tinch, Lance Marsh, Tommy Champagne, Daniel Harrington, Dwayne Cooper, Paul Servant, Jason Eisenhower, Travis Stewart, Adam Eisenhower, Matthew Ozenbach, Gregory Thompson, Jason Ritterbush, Chris Berry, John LaBeouf, Jeremy Funk, Rem Ritner II, and Roger Stewart all down pit road this time by. That is more than half the field down to pit road, and because of that we have a lot of heavy movers already up here in the top 10. We have, let's see, Road Runner Senior going from 20th place to 8th place, Jason Kinzer from 25th to 10th, William Flamholtz from 19th to 11th, and the list just goes on. Early on I talked about drivers who are in the chase, and so far we have only 2 drivers left to fill up the chase, which will be the round of 16 for the first race. So far, drivers who are locked into the points will be into the chase: Rodney Wolford, Paul Servant, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Bobby Tinch, Dana Osborne, Travis Stewart, Thomas Labar, Justin Levine, Raymond Rittenauer, Sawyer Ott, Gary Champion, Jeremy Funk, Daniel Harrington, and Roger Stewart. All these guys locked into this chase. So right now we only need 2 more drivers in order to fill up for the round of 16. The question remains, who will be the last 2 drivers to round up the round of 16 for chase race number 1 next week at Talladega Super Speedway with the Can-Am cars.
Well, the good thing is here at Cyber Racing Association, the Drive for Autism Summer Super Speedway Series, the drivers that are not in the chase, though, they're going to be battling for that 17th position because they're going to get prizes also. Also, we are back 1 to green as they are now getting double foul, but this is a race segment race. So lap 25 to 26, the top 5 will get bonus points for leading first segment. However, since we have already had a caution, there will not be a competition caution after segment number 1. Segment number 2 will be lap 50 coming to 51. If there is no caution, then a competition caution will come out. Then, of course, there's the final segment, lap 75, race winner.
Yep, so as usual, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we'll see a lot of drivers racing harder than ever before. As the closer we get towards the end of those segments, laps 25 to 26. And second segment, like Dave said, 50 through 51. And the final lap number 75, going to start finish line for its checkered flag. So fingers crossed right now. This lineup, 168 of Scott Sanderson behind the 18 of Gary Champion. On the outside is 43 of David Anderson with the help of the, 43 of Anderson behind. And the 4 of Justin Levine on the outside line. Going green this time by exiting turn 4.
Yes, the pace car is going to bring him double foul here. Gary Champion on the inside, Justin Levine on the outside. getting ready to go green flag racing for the second time here at Daytona 2007, the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Summer Super Speedway Series, as the pace car is now off. Green flag is out. Gary Champion gets a good run. Scott Sanderson right there on his back bumper, but don't count out Justin Levine. He is getting a good push by David Anderson as they are making their way here, but they are just going to stay double foul coming into turn one.
And Mark Jorgensen already pushing for dear life all over 43 of David Anderson, trying to keep him glued to the back bumper of the 4 of Justin Levine, who are still getting up to speed here on the exit of turn number 2. Behind them is the 3 of Rodney Wolford. It's only a matter of time before 88 of Mark Jorgensen and the 3 of Wolford go 3 wide here as soon as they get up to speed on 40. And the 3 of Wolford already has some damage on the rear end of that machine. 6.5 Marty Ray trying to play both lanes so far. For Levine gets clear of the inside and drops back down to in front of the 18 of Gary Champion. Take over the lead over the bottom lane. The bombs are watching these machines off the track, but the drivers are still hanging on for dear life on the outside. 43 of David Anderson does get a big run to help with the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. this time by.
Yeah, as we are now riding here on the in car of the 65 of Marty Ray, as he is pushing here hard. As we see the 3 up there on the outside lane, you can just see how bumpy this track is as he is working that wheel, and that truck is actually bouncing. They're coming through turns 1 and 2.
Yep, these drivers have to pay extra attention because they are going over 195 miles an hour on a very, very bumpy track, and things do go from good to bad, but good in a hurry if drivers are not paying attention. And so far, Marty Ray doing an amazing job riding behind the 66 of Bobby Tinch on the outside. So far is formed up. 4 drivers high, 2 drivers low. The outside line so far just might be the place to be, but Dave, the last caution wiped out more than half the field. With that said, only having 1 backup truck here tonight and all season long, and the driving styles have changed.
Yeah, they gotta take care of these trucks, that's for sure here. As we are going to go back here in the field, we got another pack here. Looks like the 30 of Lance Marsh riding back in 13th position. See the 8 of Dana Osborne. So we have like 2 really big packs here. Most of these guys here are single file, but they are kind of spread out a good ways here from that lead pack.
Yep, and ironically, the second pack, well, I should say the third pack, this one you talk about being led by the 8 of Dana Osborne, it is way, way bigger, I should say, actually twice as big as big as the lead pack. With that said, they should be able to catch up to that lead pack without any problems, but so far they are riding that single file action. 11 of Kinzer trying to pull out to the outside, making the outside line work. Is it going to be followed? Yes, he will by the 5 of Thomas Labar. Labar trying to side drive or to get the run off the left quarter panel of the 11 of Jason Kinzer and the 81 of Chris Berry as well, trying to help.
Yeah, most definitely so. We've got 2 big packs here, but going back up front, David Anderson, our new race leader, as he is now coming under fire from the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Mark Jorgensen Jr. there's got the 3 of Rodney Wolford and the 168 of Scott Sanderson. Meanwhile, on the inside, it's David Anderson, Justin Levine, Gary Champion. So we have a 6 truck pack here, but they are double foul. So it looks like that outside lane's just having a little bit of a hard time as we are under a yellow again.
Oh, that involved 21 of William Flamholtz there on the exit of the turn, including the 13 of Tommy Champagne. On replay, let's back it up on Tommy Champagne. And actually, let's back it up on 21 of William Flamholtz. See what happened.
Well, as we are looking, it looks like they were running 3 wide contact. The 21 of Flamholtz down into the 911 of John LaBeouf. They go sliding down through the grass.
Oh man, very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved in that line. 11 John LaBeouf, William Flamholtz, and 13 of Tommy Champagne. Looks like it was just a bad hook incident there. Champagne was trying to get the back bumper of William Flamholtz, but ended up hitting him at a wrong angle, which did send Flamholtz down the track nose first into the 911 of John LaBeouf. Bringing out that caution, but going back up front, David Anderson leading this pack so far. For Levine in 2nd place, Mark Jorgensen 3rd, Gary Champion 4th, and Rodney Wolford in the 5th place spot.
Yes, we are now here, lap 10 of 75, 66 laps remaining here. 2nd caution of the night. Just it looked like a 2-car spin. I'm not quite sure why the yellow came out because they were off the track, but this is going to... The good thing is, though, this is going to tighten that second pack that we saw. Get them up there with the front pack, so we should have a real big pack here on this restart. Now, the question is anybody going to pit? We have only got about 15 laps now left until the end of segment number 1.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. And so far, David Anderson, the leader, is actually clutching it in, trying to save some gas. So maybe he will be staying out, maybe not. He goes below the apron, headed down pit road. Nope, he's faking them. He stays out. And to maintain the race lead, Jackson Levine behind him will go down pit road, leading everybody else down pit road, including Mark Jorgensen Jr. and pretty much the rest of the field. Yep, everybody down pit road except for David Anderson, Bobby Tinch, and Jason Kinzer staying out.
Yeah, they're trying to get those bonus points there for winning the segment, so they're going to stay out, playing a little bit of strategy. So we'll see what happens here as we are under yellow here at Daytona 2007.
And looking at the drivers who just pitted in, Jason Levine, Mark Jorgensen, the 18 of Gary Champion, including Rodney Wolford. These guys just took 2 tires with a splash of gas and nothing else, and spent less than 10 seconds on pit road. And the normal, or I should say regular amount or regular time to spend on pit road here typically is, I should say, above 10 seconds, but below 20 seconds. So these guys were very, very quick on pit road, trying to get that track position, trying to stay up as high as they can before the end of segment number 1. They are trying their best to set themselves up. Every single point matters, except especially going into this upcoming chase starting next week. So they are trying their best to be in the best spot possible, but going back up front, if we do not go back 1 to green this time by, that's going to give us some time for a race interview. And we have some drivers getting the wave around the pace car. Chris Akers, Daniel Harrington going around the pace car this time by. And Chris Akers back to the lead lap. And Daniel Harrington back from 2 laps down to 1. And it looks like Chris Akers did have some bad luck on the start. He did miss the start and went a lap down because of that. Looks like he is now back in the lead laps. That's very, very good to see. And Chris Akers is once again the defending champion this season, last season's champion. And this does give us some time for a race interview as promised. Let's focus on the 168 of Scott Sanderson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre Broadcasting booth by the 168 of Scott Sanderson. Get a cut there, Scott.
Well, I pitted, accidentally used my fast repair, got a fast truck, and now I'm going to start in the mess. So, I mean, what else can you say on that one?
Oh, copy that. Well, buddy, it is very, very good to see you. You did qualify in the 4th place spot so far, in 11th place. Any teammates out there?
Me, myself, and I. Like I said, got a fast truck. You can definitely see me heading to the front here right when they drop this green flag. I don't want to be in this mess. So, a lot of bumps, a lot of, if anyone's been out here onto this old Daytona, they know what I'm talking about. It's rough. So a lot of jumping and bouncing and dipping and diving. And I don't know. Well, either we're gonna look like a hero or we're gonna load it onto the wrecker. So.
Absolutely, buddy. It is a very, very rough track indeed. You will get quite the workout of a lifetime before this race is over. But Scott, it is very, very good to see you. It's been way too long, and we look forward to seeing you and your fast truck up front, buddy. Will make us proud, as usual.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it my best shot. So, just keep an eye on me. You see me putting on a show, I bet you, whether it's a good show or a bad show.
Well, that was 168 Scott Sanderson back in 11th place, started 4th, and will be a man on a mission trying to get up front. He does have a fast truck like he talked about. That is something to look forward to, and we are now back 1 to green, still being led by 43 of David Anderson on the inside. Right behind is 11 of Jason Kinzer on the outside, being led by Bobby Tinch, being assisted by the 00 of Dwayne Cooper on this restart on lap number 13. Let's see, now we have only a few more laps left before the end of segment number 1. So that will make things extra interesting. The harder the racing will become. So fingers crossed for everybody out here. Mark Jorgensen still being shown in the 6th place spot so far in the top 10. We have Dana Osborne, Rod Newford making their first appearance, his second appearance I should say, in the top 10. With Tommy Champagne from 21st to 12th. Thomas Labar 17th to 13th. Rod Rodman Sr. from 20th to 17th. And also down the list here, Zachary Howard from 22nd to the 19th place spot. But right now we are entering turn 3, going green. And we have another new viewer in the chat, Gone Fishing TV. Good to see you, everybody. Good to see you. Unfortunately, we have lost one driver, the 82. That was Adam Eisenhower. We do look forward to seeing him back again next week for Chase Race. Number 1, we exit turn 4 this time by going green. That pace car is off. The green flag flies. 11 of Jason Kinzer right behind David Anderson. The Dwayne Cooper has been caught looking on the outside behind Bobby Tinch on the inside as well as the 88. That's going to be actually the 4 of Justin Levine trying to catch the 18 of Gary Champion. 3rd place on the inside. On the outside line has got a very, very bad start and just might pay the price before the exit of turn number 2. And behind there, behind the 00 of Dwayne Cooper is going to be the 88 of Mark Jorgensen as well, who is side by side with the 65 of Marty Ray. Bobby Tinch taking it 3 wide on the outside line against the 18 of Gary Champion, the 11 of Jason Kinzer on the outside line. They are going to make it stick nice and strong. Dwayne Cooper going against the, going with the 16 of Bobby Tinch, trying to dump the 11 of Jason Kinzer, who has been left high and dry, or I should say in the middle and dry. He is in the side drop to the best of his ability, but so far looks like the outside is a place to be. The 00 Cooper and Bobby Tinch are propelling past middle and bottom lane. 18, Gary Champion has unhooked from the 43 of Anderson, and Anderson does pay the price for that. Bobby Tinch led this lap. He was leading entering turn 1. 11 of Kinzer still in the middle lane. He is trying to hang on nice and strong. Getting body air from both sides. Mark Johnson the rescue of 11 of Jason Kinzer. Small 3 wide up front.
Yeah, kind of early to see this, but then again, only 10 laps here to the end of the segment. But that middle lane there with Jason Kinzer, it's got 3 trucks, so they are just going right past the 66 of Bobby Tinch and the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, who jump back down and take it back down 2 wide.
Yeah, it looks like Tinch's run, including Cooper's run, did end up dying within a matter of only 1.5 laps. And they have no chance but to fall back in line. Most likely, Dwayne will try his best to cool that motor, back it up and do it all over again, but this time get an even bigger run and get around the middle lane and inside lane. And so far, middle lane, or I should say outside line, is being led by Mark Jorgensen with the help of the 3 of Wolford. On the inside is still the 11 of Kinzer, being pushed by the 43 of David Anderson.
Yeah, but I tell you, Dwayne Cooper's got to watch, though. He's got to have a good run here tonight. He's right there on that bubble trying to get into the chase, so he has a bad race, then he's pretty much going to be on the outside looking in.
Yep, speaking of Dwayne Cooper, he was robbed of the of his position in the chase last season. So he is trying to make sure history does not repeat itself here tonight. Now for the final race before the chase begins, the race before the chase. 11 of Kinzer right now loose on the inside. 3 wide for 3 of David Anderson, takes 3 wide past the 11 of Kinzer and the 4 of Levine in the middle. Is he going to make it work? Yes, he does. And Kinzer now being pushed for the 18 of Gary Champion. Anderson makes the pass successfully against the 11 of Jason Kinzer. That was just pretty much a switch, and the caution gets thrown here by race officials on lap 17. We are going to back it up and see who might have been involved. Oh, Chris Akers got a piece of the action. Heavy smoke from the rear end of that machine. I'm not sure if we can, but let's Oh, what actually happened up front in front of Chris Akers? It started with the 29 wasn't back, including 96 of Jason Rudebush, who got together. Let's focus on Jason Rudebush and see what happened.
Yeah, just contact Matthew Wolzenbach down into the inside wall. Rudebush, he has got some heavy damage as well. So unfortunate for those two drivers is, yeah, Rudebush goes right back up into the outside. He also is going to tag the 54 of Akers. Highly unfortunate, but that is our third caution. This is Daytona, so we are under our third caution here tonight, here on lap 18.
Yeah, very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved. And Jason Rudebush did end up blowing his motor due to the incident, and is getting towed down to pit road. Hopefully he still has his only backup truck here tonight, so he can be able to get back out there and give these guys a run for their money. He is an amazing driver, knows how to get the job done. So if he gets his brand new machine, he should be up there in no time. But going back up front, we are being led by 88 Mark Jorgensen Jr., 3 Woodford in second place, David Anderson third, Justin Levine fourth, and Bobby Tinch in the fifth place spot, first through fifth respectively. Actually, that just changed. David Anderson did go down pit road and gave up his third place spot. So it's now Mark Jorgensen Jr. in the lead, Rod Newford second, Justin Levine third, Jason Kinzer fourth, and Bobby Tinch in the fifth place spot so far. And at this point, let's see, we only have the top 11 drivers staying out, but more than half the field is on pit road. So Dave, looks like people, I figured that since we're very close to the end of segment number 1, most drivers would stay out, but I guess not, because I guess they just pitted in. I mean, they didn't pit in last caution due to them staying out, like David Anderson trying to lead some laps to get the bonus point.
Yeah, most definitely. Here's we are being led by the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. He has got his teammate, the 3, Rodney Wolford, behind him. So, but taking a look here, we got 57 laps to go. We're just now getting ready to come here to the end of segment number 2. 6 laps for the end of segment number 1. I apologize, segment 1. So these guys are racing for bonus points, which are definitely going to be key coming into the chase starting next week.
And we have some drivers getting away from the pace car. We have Rod Rodham Sr., William Flamhouse, Daniel Harrington. Just got waved around the pace car, getting 1 lap back. These 3 drivers back on the lead lap this time by. And we have a new viewer in the chat, Katie Stewart. Good to see you there, Katie. It's been a while. Rooting on the 6 of Roger Stewart and the 77 of Travis Stewart, father and son. Roger being the father and Travis the son. And Travis is being shown in third place in points, and both he and his father are both locked into the chase. So it's gonna make things extra interesting once the chase begins. And Adam Eisenhower did get back in the server, but looks like his machine was not good enough to keep up to pace. So he has once again retired for the evening. And looking at the top 10 so far, Dave, new driver, top 10, 87, and Raymond on the second, being shown in 9th place for starting in the 28th place position. So Ricknauer has come a very, very long way here tonight, and a long way to go for him and the rest of the field. But he's an amazing driver. He has had a rough season, but it's always very nice seeing him competing every single week. And this does give us some time for a race interview. So let's focus on the 87 of Rick now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined by the 87 of Rick now, the second up in the Dre broadcasting booth. Get a cup there, Raymond.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight?
Not bad. How are you?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Well, Raymond, tonight you have finally made your first appearance here in the top 10 of starting 28th. You were able to stay out of trouble for the most part. How's everything going so far?
That's going all right. Staying out of the wrecks.
Oh man, that's very good to hear, and that is all you can do. And looks like tonight you are working with the 29 Wolzenbach as a 2-man team here tonight. How are you feeling going into this chase?
I'm feeling pretty good. Gonna try to get up in the top 5 here before the stage ends. But I feel good going into the chase. Just gotta have consistent finishes and hopefully stay out of the big ones.
Sounds like a plan, brother. And so far, you have been doing good. You are alive up here, in lap 21, behind 168 of Scott Sanderson. You are going green this time by Raymond. We look forward to seeing you and your Rebel Racing teammate wasn't back in victory lane tonight. Good luck to you guys.
All right, thank you.
And that was 29 of Matthew, the 87 written out the second teammate to the 29. Matthew wasn't back. I almost got that confused. But going back up front, we are still being led by Mark Jorgensen Jr., being pushed by the 4 of Justin Levine on this restart. On the outside is 3 of Wooford, being pushed by the 11 of Jason Kinzer, going green this time by with, let's see, about 6 laps left before the end of segment number 1. A lot more hard racing. We have lost more drivers, 3 more drivers. We've lost Chris Akers, Jason Rudabush, and Tommy Champagne. Very, very unfortunate indeed for those 3 drivers. I'll look forward to their return again for Chase Race 1 next week at Talladega. Let's get this thing back. Green flag racing, 6 laps to go before the end of segment number 1. The harder the racing will become. So fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, fingers crossed.
As we come out of turn number 4, pace car leading them at pace speed, ready to go green flag racing. Being led once again by Mark Jorgensen Jr., Rodney Wolford on the outside. Pace car is off, green flag is out. We are back. Green flag racing here at Daytona. Mark Jorgensen Jr. gets a good run, but unusual move, but he does jump up in front of his teammate, trying to bring his teammate with him here to the front. That's leaving the 4 of Justin Levine. Is the 66 of Bobby Tinch just now getting to him? But here comes Levine. Mark Jorgensen Jr. jumping back down and shutting that door there on the bottom lane.
And taking over the push of the 3 of Wooford will be the 11 of Justin Kinzer, being pushed by the 18 of Gary Champion on the outside line. And the inside so far for Levine, pushing the heck out of the 88 of Mark Jorgensen. And Bobby Tinch, 168 of Scott Sanderson, just riding single file on the inside line so far. 168 of Scott does back off the 60 of Bobby Tinch to try and give him enough room to see the yellow line. At the same time, Bobby Tinch got loose exiting turn number 4. But was able to hang on to that machine. That 6'5 of Marty Ray back in this mix. 4th person on the outside line behind the 18 of Gary Champion.
Yeah, looks like right here behind the lead pack, though. They're pretty much single file back here as we go back here. Take a look here. Thomas Labar back here. He's got a pack with Rod Ramos Sr. and Dana Osborne. The 21 of William Flamholtz and the 9 of Paul Servant. So we got 2 teammates up front. We got 2 teammates running back here in 15th and 16th position.
And Flamo stops the apron, goes sideways, able to stay off of it, keep it straight, but because of that, he will go from 16th place to the back of the pack in no time. He is now way under speed, getting back up speed as we speak, but he will lose a lot of time before he gains any time. Very unfortunate indeed for Tornado William Flamholtz, but a very, very nice save on his part. That could have been ugly, but he was able to hang on to that beast, and no harm was done to anybody else but himself, unfortunately. And so far, 168 of Scott Sanderson back here in this lead pack. 2 laps ago, Scott Sanderson was going high to take it 3 wide, going back high again. Not any help from anybody, but goes back down to the middle lane to be pushing on the 6'5 of Marty Ray in his draft. So he is trying to talk someone into helping him make the outside line. On the outside line, up front, the 4 of Levine goes up high, but Mark Jorgensen does follow him. And for 4 of Levine does take it 3 wide on Jorgensen.
Yeah, we got some 3 wide up here. It's going to be Bobby Tinch down bottom, Mark Jorgensen in the middle, Justin Levine up high. We are now on lap 25, so we are going to have to watch our results here, because as they cross the start finish line, that'll be the end of segment number 1.
Yep, on this back stretch, it is a drag race between the 66 of Bobby Tinch and the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Mark Jorgensen is leading a big nose this time by. The outside is more bikes up, and the inside line isn't. Bobby Tinch is suffering from some damage on the front end of that machine, the right front specifically on the hood. And that just might be slowing him down quite a bit, but exiting turn 4 this time by. Let's see who has it. Yep, the top 5 are as follows. 88, Mark Jorgensen first, Rodney Whitford second, Bobby Tinch third, Justin Levine fourth, and Raymond Rittenhouse the second is in 5th place. So that's first through 5th respectively here for the end of segment number 1. So those guys, those drivers I just talked about, those top 5 drivers will be getting some bonus points for being among the top 5. So congratulations to those top 5 drivers. And that just marks the end of segment number 1. This would be a good time to take our first commercial break of tonight's race. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Speedway Summer Series. That is Drive for Autism Super Speedway Summer Series by the Cyber Racing Association. This is the race before the chase, final race for the drivers to get themselves locked into this chase. That starts next week for the round of 16, and we are under caution involved. Rodney Wilford, 168 of Scott Sanderson, 11 of Jason Kinzer got a piece of the action. And so did the 6'5 of Marty Ray up front. But going back up front, we are being led by Mark Jorgensen Jr. so far. Justin Levine second, Gary Champion third, David Anderson fourth, and Rodney Wilford in the 5th place position. But that just might change here before too long, because some drivers who I talked about, Rodney Wilford included, got a piece of the action in this caution, or I should say in the record part of the caution. So he most likely will be pitting in, and those standings just might change here before too long. We are now on lap 31, 45 laps remaining. Jason Kinzer down pit road this time by. Actually, he is getting towed down to pit road. He has a lot of damage on the machine due to getting a very, very big piece of the action. So hopefully he still has his backup truck and will be able to get back out there before too long. But right now we are now entering turn number 3, and most likely drivers will be pitting in this time by, because let's see, the leaders up front, top 5 drivers have over 20 laps on their tires.
Yeah, and with only 50% fuel, they're kind of getting to the end of their pit window here, so they are going to have to come down. Yep, Mark Jorgensen Jr. is going to lead them down on pit road here as we keep an eye who's going to stay out, who is going to down pit road. Looks like the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer II is going to stay out, take over the race lead here as Mark Jorgensen Jr. is bringing the field down on the pit road.
Yep, Raymond Rittenauer II being the only driver on the lead lap to stay out. And Jason Kinzer actually is now back out on the racing surface. Dave, looks like he's done towing. But Dave, that machine has seen better days. If we can, let's focus on the 11 of Kinzer, just so we can take a look at that machine. Yeah, it's damaged in every single way possible. Left side, right side, front, back. Hopefully he still has his backup truck, but something tells me he does not have his backup truck. He most likely was involved. I don't remember him being involved in any of the incidents that we've had here tonight so far. Only the last one we had. But besides that, I'm not sure if he was, but most likely was, or ended up using his backup truck by accident. Just like one of the drivers I talked about up here during the interviews. But we look forward to seeing Jason Kinzer up there before too long. And Mark Jorgensen was able to come out of pit road in the second place spot behind, I should say, coming out of pit road first, but second behind Raymond on the second. And Mark is now second place, Justin Levine third, Gary Champion fourth. Actually, scratch that. I'm just going to wait until the cross start finish line because it looks like I might have the wrong results this far. We have Rodney Wolford, Scott Sanderson, all down pit road this time by as we speak. And right now, the second did give up the race lead to go down pit road. So he is on pit road, getting 4 tires, full tank of gas. And off pit road, he'll go. That passes the race lead over to the previous leader, 88 of Mark Jorgensen. David Anderson being shown second, Gary Champion third, Marty Ray fourth, and Jeremy Funk in the 5th place spot so far, rounding up the top 5. And we have a new driver, first appearance in the top 10. Actually, I guess 2 drivers, first appearance in the top 10. Actually, 3 drivers making the first appearance in the top 10. That's going to be Matthew Olsenbach, Thomas Labar, and Jeremy Funk, 5th, 7th, and 10th. And this would be a good time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on one of these drivers here, the Mr. Super Speedway himself, 29, of Olsenbach. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined by the one and only Mr. Super Speedway himself, the 29 of Matthew Olsenbach. Get a up there, Matthew.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Just having some fun here, Daytona 07.
Oh, that is very good to hear. And Matthew, you do have your hands full here tonight. We noticed you had an incident there early on, but you were able to get out of that. And with a brand new machine, that tndesigns.weebly.com paint scheme, that is a very, very well-dressed machine. And so far tonight, you are working with the 87 Rittenauer II. But how's everything going so far?
Everything's going pretty good, just, playing strategy. I know I'm sitting 10th right now, but I am going to come in and top off because at this track, it's just a little too hairy sometimes being up at the front. And as we saw in that lap 1 caution, people just aren't used to the big old bumps. They're expecting, a nice smooth as a baby's bottom Daytona, but this is not that Daytona.
Oh, most definitely it is not that Daytona, and yep, you will have quite the workout before this race ends. And you are running open setups here tonight with the trucks. Matthew, how's the machine doing?
It's pretty good. Ray and I are trying a new little setup that we worked on and seeing how it goes. It's definitely good pushing. Don't really know what it's like leading, but we'll see. Hopefully one of us will get up there and be able to lead some green flag laps, or just really see how this gets going.
Oh, most definitely, Matthew. Well, buddy, it's very good to see you alive. Despite what the track has been throwing your way here tonight, look forward to seeing you and your teammate, Matthew, 87 Rittenauer II, in victory lane. You are an amazing driver, man. You know how to get the job done, and with that said, you have nothing to worry about. I look forward to seeing you and your teammate in victory lane.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see you guys there.
And that was Mr. Super Speedway himself, Matthew Wilson, back representing Rebel Racing with his teammate 87 of Rittenhouse II. That is Remo Rittenhouse II. Well, but going back up front, we are coming to 1 to green. Oh, wait, already 1 to green, being led by Mark Jorgensen, who will be pushed by the 18 of Gary Champion. On the outside is David Anderson being pushed by the 65 of Marty Ray. Marty Ray got a very big piece of the action early on during that brought this caution, actually, the incident. But he was able to get his brand new machine and is now back up to speed. Not a single scratch on that Auto Owners Insurance Chevy. So it should be up front in no time. Pace car is off. Green flag flies. 18 of Champion all over. 18 of Mark Jorgensen on the outside. Marty Ray trying to catch up with 43 of David Anderson before the start finish and entering turn 1. This time by Jeremy Funk. Third place inside line behind the 18 of Gary Champion. We have the 5 Thomas Labar behind the... that's going to be the 97 of Jeremy Funk, but so far just playing it easy on the exit of 2.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now just 41 laps remaining of 75. So we are going to give you a special treat. We are going to crank it up so you can hear these trucks, V8s, getting up to speed and roaring down here at Daytona 2007.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the Crank It Up Cam, courtesy of the Dre Broadcasting Network with David Everly. We do hope that you guys enjoyed that, seeing these V8 machines roar together as one, or I should say sing together as one. That was quite the a cappella. But going back up front, so far we are now being led by 88 of Mark Jorgensen. Outside line is a place to be. Inside line has now died, seems to be dying. 43 of David Anderson trying to catch a break, but so far was not. 97 of Funk was actually disconnected from him, but now they are trying to get bunched up. On the inside now is a new leader, the 18 of Gary Champion. On the outside, 65 of Marty Ray, 4 of Justin Levine, pushing on the 88 of Mark Jorgensen.
Yeah, a little further ways back here, you've got Bobby Tinch back here in a pack with Ron Ronman Sr., the 7 of Gregory Thompson, Zachary Hill, who's also fighting for a position to get into the chase here. Then you got Scott Sanderson's back here, John LaBeouf, Jason Kinzer, Dwayne Cooper as well. Looks like they're pretty much single file here behind the lead pack.
Yep, they are trying their best to stay out of trouble. Most of these drivers, more than half the field, ladies and gentlemen, more than half this field does not have any more of their backup trucks. Backup truck, because they only have one backup truck each. So they are trying to play it safe, trying to play it smart, trying to be there for the end of the race. The famous quote on iRacing, in order to win a race, you first have to finish the race. And 69 of Rod Ron Sr. goes out of line. They are doing the leader goes to the back of the pack. Right now he is trying to catch a break, fall back in the back of this pack. We have 6-2 of Zachary Hale, 7 of Gregory Thompson. He finally catches a break. 1-6-8 of Scott Sanderson being pushed by 11 of Jason Kinzer. And behind him is going to be the 0-0 of Dwayne Cooper as well in this mix. 1-6-8 of Sanderson with a big run on the outside lane side. Also the 6-2 of Zachary Hale and the 62 of Rod Rodimus.
Going back up front, we are still got a battle up front here. Gary Champion, Mark Jorgensen Jr. But there is 5 trucks up top and only 2 on bottom. But I tell you, Gary Champion and David Anderson are doing a good job of holding their own against the hard charging upper line. But I tell you, it looks like Jeremy Funk dropped down there into the bottom lane, and also Thomas Labar. So now we've got a 4 truck push on the inside, 3 truck push on the outside.
Yep, the outside line is the place to be here. The outside line is a little bit less bumpy at the same time, and because of that, you do maintain most of your speed, which means you will have the most speed off the exits, so you maintain the most speed, plus you get better slingshots off the turns. And so far, this lead pack is catching up to a slower machine. It will be the 82 of Daniel Harrington. Daniel Harrington is heavily damaged with no more backup trucks. He uses only backup truck early on, after getting a piece of the action with the very big wreck we had on lap number 3, I believe, or lap number 4. So right now he is going to stay high to let the other drivers by, the faster traffic by, that is. He is way under speed. Yet they do get around him safely. That was great sportsmanship by the 82 of Daniel Harrington. For the back-to-back 911 of John LaBath. John LaBath being a lone driver so far out of every single draft. As we speak, being shown 2 seconds behind the closest pack to him. He is getting overtaken with 29 of Matthew Wasn't 3 of Rodney Woodford, the 9 of Paul Servant, the 8 of Dana Osborne, including the 81 of Christopher Berry.
Yeah, he's just going to ride here. I bet you, I think I know what he's going to do. He's going to try to tag on to the back of this. Well, there's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 truck pack here. So he's just going to try to tag on, get into that draft, and then see if they can't get this really big pack moving and getting it close up the front.
And Dave, as you see right now, this actually, the pack you're talking about, the one that's single file being led by the 29 Wasn't Back, is riding the middle lane, middle to high lane. So they are taking advantage of, they are trying to maintain their the most speed possible in the turns. At the same time, they are taking advantage of less bumps, equals more speed. And so far through, Woodford is pushing on the 29 Wasn't Back. And Woodford got a piece of the action early on. I mean, the last caution we had, it ended up using his backup machine, and right now he's just using a machine that is pit crew fixed. So right now he is surprisingly still keeping up to pace, and same as his teammate, the 9 of Paul Servant. Paul Servant is on the same boat as 3 of Woodford, and so far they are getting around the lap car of the 82 of Harrington.
I just kind of been watching the lap times here, though. Even though this pack is a lot larger than the lead pack, I think there's a lot of damaged trucks in here, because they are actually losing time to our leaders, so they are kind of going back the wrong way. So I think there's a lot of damaged trucks in there, because they're just not getting the speed that the lead pack is.
That is a very, very good observation. I just noticed that as well. And in 2 laps, they lost 2 seconds last lap. Well, in 3 laps, 3 seconds. They were being shown 8 seconds behind the lead pack, and 3 laps later down to 11 seconds behind that lead pack. If they continue at this pace, they will end up losing the lead to the lead pack before the we have a round of green flag pit stops before the end of segment number 2. Segment number 2 is coming up here in the end of segment number 2 is coming up here before too long. Less than 10 laps remaining, so fingers crossed. Well, actually about, let's see, 6 laps left for the end of segment number 2.
Yeah, they got 6 laps here as the leaders are now here on the backstretch. Currently, Gary Champion out front, but Mark Jorgensen Jr. leading that top lane. Is David Anderson's all over that back bumper there of Gary Champion. The 65, Marty Ray, he is all over Mark Jorgensen Jr. here. It looks like, almost looked like they were going to do some green flag pit stops here. We did have a caution, so therefore there will be no competition caution after the end of segment number 2, which is just 5 laps remaining.
Yep, without that caution, it will encourage these drivers to race as hard as they can, trying to get as close to the leaders as possible before they go down pit road for some pit stops. And Dave, status check on the 11 of Kinzer. Kinzer was able to get his brand new machine. Looks like he was not involved in anything, so I was right. He was not involved in anything, so he was able to get that damage fixed. I should say, get a brand new machine, not a single scratch on that beast. That is a very, very well-dressed 11 machine, and right now he is pushing on the 66 of Bobby Tinch in this second pack, trying to catch up to that first pack, being shown 8 seconds behind the lead pack. And for the back in the pack, we have the 30 of Lance Marsh. Lance Marsh taps the apron, gets a little bit sideways, but still maintains the pace. 911 John LaBeouf as well in front of him has finally caught up, or I should say has increased his speed, because as we checked on him, he was getting freight trained by the fastest single foul pack, being led by Toronto wasn't back, but now he is in this mix and in it to win it.
Well, taking a look here, Matthew Wolzenbach leading this pack. Looks like some trucks are deciding to go double file and race for position, because they went from about 8 seconds behind the leaders down to 16, almost 17 seconds behind. So they are definitely losing time, even though they were running single file, as we are now just 4 laps here to the end of segment number 2.
Yeah, with the way this is going so far, they do know that the caution is going to be very, very unlikely. So they are taking advantage of this time, a time like this, to get as close to the leaders as possible before the green flag pit stops kick in. Because the closer you are to the leaders when pitting in, the better off you are in terms of time and relative to them. And for the back of the pack as well, we have Travis Stewart. Actually, Travis is pushing on the 29 of Matthew Wolzenbach. This lead pack on the outside line is dying, being led by the 3 of Wofford. If it's all that damage you talked about, Dave, that damage is really, really slowing the outside line down. Both second place driver and first place driver of the outside line are heavily damaged. And damage plus damage is equal to more damage, which is a very, very bad thing for these drivers, or for the speed at a track like this. And we have a driver who taps the apron on the inside. That's going to be the 30 of Lance Marsh, but he was able to hang on to that machine. And Lance seems to be getting very, very friendly with the apron, but so far seems to be still being able to beat the apron. Despite the apron trying to claim him, he is still going nice and strong.
Nope, going back up front, just 2 laps remaining to the end of segment number 2. Currently being led by the 18 of Gary Champion. He's got David Anderson, Justin Levine down on the inside. Mark Jorgensen Jr. is there. He's got the 65 Marty Ray. Also right behind them, Jeremy Funk and Thomas LeVar also running down on that inside lane there. Just a little ways off, just in case something happens, but still within the draft, as they are now getting ready to cross the start-finish line. 1 lap. Next time around, we will know who's going to be getting those bonus points here for segment number 2.
Yep, fingers crossed. Mark Jorgensen is trying to be one of the top 5, drives in the segments, just like he was in the first segment. Exiting turn 4 this time by 88. Mark Jorgensen goes up high up the track. Let's see who takes it. 18 of Champion first, Dave Anderson second, Mark Jorgensen Jr. third, Justin Levine fourth, and Marty Ray in the 5th place spot. Congratulations to the top 5 drivers this segment, and that marks the end of segment number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take another commercial break this time, so you guys can get your second round of popcorn and refreshments. At the same time, thank our sponsors. We'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Speedway Series race here tonight. 2007 in Daytona International, and we have green flag pit stops underway taking place as we speak. So far, leaders peeling off. Mark Jorgensen leading the lead pack down pit road. 18 Gary Champion, 43 David Anderson, 97 of Jeremy Funk. We have Marty Ray, Justin Levine, Thomas Labar down pit road this time by. And we have another pack pitting in, Bobby Tinch, 11 Jason Kinzer. We have Gregory Thompson, Roder Senior, Dwayne Cooper, Zachary Hale, Jason Eisenhower. We have Travis Stewart pitting in, Travis Stewart and Roger Stewart pitting in this time by as well. Everybody down pit road pretty much this time by.
Now, Sean, you know what that means. We can make it the rest of the way on fuel. We only got 21 laps remaining. This is the final pit stop. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have green flag pit stops here at Daytona 2007 as Mark Jorgensen Jr. is going to lead the field off of pit road. Oh, he gets into the grass, gets a little squirrely, but saves it. Good driving there by the 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. coming off pit road. But he is out there by himself as he's got nobody behind him, but nothing to worry about because everybody's coming off pit road.
Yep, Gary Champion right behind him. Gary Champion, Jeremy Funk, Marty Ray, Thomas Labar, Justin Levine. And because Mark Jorgensen Jr. is so far ahead of them and being a lone machine as they are, as he is, so Gary Champion and Jeremy Funk as well just might get a slingshot around him as though he's sitting on jack stands. But maybe they might pick him up. But no update. Mark Jorgensen going down pit road one more time. Most likely serving a penalty.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of is the 87 Mark Jorgensen Jr. has got to serve a penalty. The thing of it is, green flag pit stops, you get a penalty, they have to be served under green flag conditions. So, taking a look here, I'm going to keep an eye on his pit time, see if he got a penalty, because he is down on pit road once again. That is going to give the race lead over to Gary Champion. Jeremy Funk, as Marty Ray has caught them. Thomas Labar, Justin Levine, our top five running in a pack here. David Anderson running in sixth. He is running solo. Bobby Tinch behind him. He does have the 82 of Daniel Harrington. And I think that's the 00 there, Dwayne Cooper there. So they have a lap down car in between them, but they are using them for the draft as they are trying to catch. Yep, that is Dwayne Cooper there. Zachary Hale also battling to get into the chase here, sitting in 9th position. Jason Eisenhower sitting in 10th. Gregory Thompson's there, 69 of Ron Ronimus Sr. as well. Scott Sanderson, Rodney Ford, Paul Servant, and Dana Osborne here in this looks like a 7-truck pack.
And Dave, speaking of going back to Mark Jorgensen Jr., Mark Jorgensen actually was not caught speeding entering pit road, but was caught speeding exiting pit road, unfortunately, and served a penalty and spent, let's see, 17.8 seconds. That's, I should just say 18 seconds on pit road. The next time he went down pit road, very unfortunate indeed for Mark Jorgensen, but right now he is back up to speed, trying his best, hoping to be picked up by a pack. Right now being approached by the 18 of Gary Champion, Thomas Labar, Marty Ray, Jeremy Funk, the new leaders so far. If he's lucky enough, he will be able to get back in line and catch the draft, but so far it's not looking too good.
Yeah, and that's going to put him a lap down. He is now a lap down, sitting back in 25th position. He is the first truck a lap down, so if the yellow comes out, he will get the lucky dog position, but looks like he is going to miss that draft here as Gary Champion, man out front. Looking at our lap sled here so far tonight with 18 laps to go. Mark Jorgensen Jr. leading 28 laps. Gary Champion leading 12. David Anderson leading 10. Dustin Levine leading 4 laps. Jason Kisler, Raymond Rittenauer II, Rodney Wolford all leading a lap here tonight as well.
Yep, congratulations to all those drivers who led at least one lap here tonight. This far in the race, we have 17 laps remaining. That goes to show how serious these guys are about getting the extra bonus point for leading a lap. Because they do take advantage of it. So getting an extra bonus point for leading a lap at the same time, being among the top 5 in between segments, first and second segment, including the third segment, the final segment there on lap number 75. Close to our finish line for the checkered flag, and for the back in the pack we have Rodney Wolford, Jason Eisenhower, Paul Servant, Gregory Thompson, Dana Osborne, Rod Rodman Sr. in a pack of their own. This is going to be, this is actually a very big pack like you talked about. It's going to be, let's see, about 8 to 9 trucks in this mix. Scott Sanderson, Zachary Hale, we have Matthew Wilson back, happening on the track. Everybody is involved in it. Going around sideways, the caution flies this time by. Holy cow, Dave, let's focus on the 3 of Wolford on replay and see what happened.
Well, as we focus here on the 3 of Rodney Wolford, we are going to get a close-up here, see if we can see exactly what happened. As he was riding on the outside of the 32 machine in the 7 of Gregory Thompson. Looks like contact between Rodney Wolford and Gregory Thompson. He almost got it saved, but I think it was the 30 of Lance Marsh tagged him and sent him around. So let's take another look here from the blip view, see if we can see what happened. Yeah, it looks like contact between 7 of Gregory Thompson, 3 of Rodney Wolford. Almost saves it, and then around he goes. Highly unfortunate, but that is going to bring out our 5th caution here tonight with just 15 laps remaining.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved in that, and that caution caught a lot of drivers at a very, very good time. So some drivers were very happy to see the caution. We have Christopher Berry, Mark Jorgensen. These drivers will be getting back on the lead lap. Jeremy Harrington going to be getting 1 lap back to be back to 1 lap down from 2 laps down. Roger Stewart as well will be getting a lap back. So these guys are very, very happy. And Dave, this caution is going to bunch up the field before the green flag pit stop we just had recently. A lot of drivers were so far behind the lead pack. There was no choice. There was no way they were going to catch up to that lead pack in time for the end of the race tonight. But now this caution will change things for sure.
Yeah, now's the time. If I think the only people we're going to see down on pit road is those that saved their backup truck. I think those that saved their backup truck is going to come down pit road, use that backup truck, get the clean truck, because they are going to need that clean truck to catch that front pack. Is we are seeing Marty Ray down on pit road, Tom LaBarre, Jeremy Funk, Jason Eisenhower, Gregory Thompson, Rod Rodman Sr., Paul Servant, Dana Osborne, Zachary Hale, Raymond Rittenauer, Lance Marsh, Matthew Wolzenbach, and John LaBeouf all down on pit road as we speak. So I think a lot of these drivers that saved that backup truck are going to go ahead and use it, because we only got 14 laps remaining.
14 laps to go. It is go time at this point. If you're not going to go now, it just might end up being too late when, or I should say if and when you try to make some moves. And once we go green, we'll most likely be having, let's see, 11 to 12 laps remaining. 11 to 12 laps of green flag racing before the race begins. But we have a driver who got away from the pace car, 81 of Christopher Berry, getting around the pace car back on the lead lap. So congrats to Christopher Berry. We have Mark Jorgensen Jr. as well, back on the lead lap. And let's see who else. So far looks like it, including Roger Stewart and Daniel Harrington. But Daniel Harrington is the only one who will be back to 1 lap down from 2 laps down. But everybody else who got waived will be back onto the lead lap. And let's see, Jason Eisenhower being shown 9th, Dwayne Cooper from 18th place to 7th, Thomas LaBarre from 17th place to 5th, and Bobby Tinch back in 3rd place from 10th place to 3rd as we speak.
Well, I'll tell you, Mark Jorgensen Jr. is loving this caution back on the lead lap, but he has got some work to do. Currently being showed back in 23rd position, so he has got some room to make up here, as we are now looking at 14 laps to go, 13 laps to go once they cross the start-finish line. But the good thing is Mark Jorgensen Jr. is locked into the chase, so he doesn't have to worry about that, but I'm sure he would love to end the regular season with a win.
Yeah, that would be a heck of a way to end the season. It will make things extra interesting the closer we get to that checkered flag. I see the white flag and the checkered flag. So fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Usually we see some drivers taking some serious flights, but tonight the closest we saw of a driver taking some serious flight was the 8 of Dana Osborne riding the wall during the first caution we had. But other than that, everybody else has been able to keep those 4 wheels on the racing surface. Very, very good to see. And this does give us some time for a race interview. So let's focus on the 7 of Gregory Thompson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined by the 7 of Gregory Thompson up here in the Dre Broadcasting booth. Good up there, Greg.
Not too much. Just trying to keep this truck together.
10-4, copy that, Greg, and so far doing an amazing job, despite the ding you've had in your rear end for the longest time possible. But how's the green flag pit stops, man? How are they treating you?
They're treating me pretty good, actually. Able to go in and get new tires, and I got enough fuel to make it to the end now, so it's go time now, as you said.
Oh, go time it is. And at this point, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. And anybody working with tonight for the final race of the season, regular season?
Well, we're all over the place, but Dave Anderson and Christopher Berry are working with me tonight, and we just haven't been able to get together tonight to actually do anything really good.
Oh, 10-4, that's very understandable indeed. And tonight, Greg, you guys are running open setups as usual with the trucks. How's your setup handling tonight?
Setup's handling pretty good. It scrapes a little bit in the bumps, but as long as I run the high line, it's a little bit better. I don't like running the low line as much.
Oh, that explains a lot. Yep, during that very long run we just had before the green flag pit stops kicked in, we noticed a lot of drivers riding single file in the middle lane. So it does explain a lot. And Greg, you are now back 1 to green, being shown 15th of starting 29th. You have come a long way tonight, Greg. And don't stop here, keep going to the front, and we'll look forward to seeing you and the drivers you're working with, Dave Anderson and 81 of Christopher Berry in victory lane tonight. Have a good one, buddy, and good luck to you.
Yep, thanks a lot.
And that was the 7 of Gregory Thompson in the 15th place spot. Greg has come a very, very long way in tonight's race, and he will not give up. He won't quit. He won't stop just yet. He won't stop until he gets to the front. So let's see exactly how things play out. We are now back 1 to green, still being led by 18 of Gary Champion, who will be pushed by the 66 of Bobby Tinch. On the outside is the 4 of Levine. Levine is now back up in the top 3, where he was originally in the very beginning of the race. He will be pushed by the 43 of David Anderson, going green this time by with 11 laps to go once we go green on lap 65. So fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, fingers crossed, it is go time.
Yep, they are going to have 11 laps here to decide who is going to win the last race of the season. So this will be interesting. Here is the pace car now out of turn number 4. Just waiting for it to make that hard left. And pace car is off. Green flag is out. We are back. Green flag racing here for the final race of the season for the Drive for Autism Summer Super Speedway Series. Looks like Gary Champion gets a good push by Bobby Tinch and Dwayne Cooper. Justin Levine, he does have David Anderson right behind him, but they are making a good push here on the inside as these trucks will be battling it out. Oh, caution is out.
So that was for the back of the pack. That is going to involve 62 of Zachary Hale, 29 of Matthew Wells, and back. Both drivers get a piece of the action. Looks like it happened up front with the starting with the I think that was the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, if I'm not mistaken. No, that was 11 of Jason Kinzer. Yep, 11 of Jason Kinzer was involved in the mix as well. Let's focus on Jason Kinzer, Dave, and see what happened.
As we take a look here at Jason Kinzer running on the outside. Oh, I don't know. There was some contact between him and Jeremy Funk. And I tell you, Jason Kinzer goes for a run, so we are going to jump here on the cockpit of Jason Kinzer here as he goes spinning around the track. Oh, man. Well, that is highly unfortunate, but that is going to give us a caution here. We are going to have right about a 7 to 6 lap shootout here as we are now under our caution for the 6th time here tonight here at Bumpy Daytona, Daytona International Speedway 2007.
Yep, in the last caution, Dave, I talked about how we didn't really have anybody taking flight. Well, now we have a new driver coming very close to flight besides the 8 of Dana Osborne. It was the 11 of Kinzer who was on his lid, like you talked about, flipping in every single direction possible. And unfortunately, Jason Kinzer has now retired for the night due to using his final backup track early on. And so hopefully, I'm not sure if his pit was going to have enough time to bring that machine back to life, but probably not because we have 10 laps remaining so far. We have lost one more driver, 168. Scott Sanderson, who was a lone driver here tonight. But look forward to seeing these drivers back again for Chase Race number 1 next week at Talladega Super Speedway. We'll have the points leader in the chat, the 3 of Rod Newford. Good to see you there, Rodney. Yep, and Wolford is now back out on the racing surface. He was getting some damage fixed, but his pit crew was able to get that machine back to life. So he's now being shown 27th, 4 laps down, very determined to get the job done regardless. He most likely will be able to gain some spots before the race ends. Yep, he will, because we have Jeremy Funk, Jason Kinzer, both drivers who will not be finishing tonight's race, unfortunately. So he will be able to gain at least 2 to 3 more spots, going from 27th place to about 24th or 23rd. Before this race is over, but going back up front, still being led by 18 of Gary Champion running the apron the shortest way around the track at the same time. He is clutching that sucker in, trying to save some gas. 4 of Justin Levine second, Bobby Tench third, David Anderson fourth, and Dwayne Cooper in the 5th place spot. And Dwayne has been rocking some damage for the first half of the race, including up to this point actually. On the left front of that machine, but it is still going nice and strong regardless. Actually, you should just pretty much say the front end of the machine is damaged, right side, right front, and left front. But despite that, he has been still been able to keep up. We have Travis Stewart making his first appearance in the top 10 from 24th place to 6th as we speak, with his teammate Roger Stewart back there in 18th place. So Travis Stewart and Roger Stewart are very, very far apart, and most likely will try their best to get together before the race ends.
Yeah, most definitely. So, let's see. We got 9 laps to go here. It's still anybody's ball game. I mean, anything could happen. It is Bumpy Daytona. These trucks are bumping and bottoming out. They could hit a bump wrong, spin out. So, anything's possible here. Is Gary Champion is getting ready to bring him across the start-finish line, giving us 8 laps to go. If I'm not mistaken, we should be 1 to green. Nope. Lights on the pace car are staying on, so we will be going green. Getting the 1 to green next time around here is Gary Champion now leading 21 laps here tonight.
Yep, and this does give us some time for another interview. Let's focus on the 21 of William Flamholtz. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Ray Broadcasting booth by the 21 of William Flamholtz. You get a cup there, William?
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, loud and clear. How are you doing tonight?
All right. I mean, this is some new territory here. I'm not used to running in the top 10. I got a good setup tonight, and we played some good strategy, and we're looking forward to the end of this race.
Oh, I hear you, William. And William, you saying it's the first time in the top 10. You're saying it tonight. But man, you're an amazing driver. You know how to get the job done. And tonight you have come a long way, buddy. Going from 19th place to 8th place. You had some trouble early on in the race, but you were able to overcome that and see your first appearance in the top 10 here tonight. But how's the machine handling tonight, buddy? Because we've noticed a couple of drivers. I do see Rod Newford up there in the chat talking about how the machines are very pushy tonight.
Yeah, these trucks are bottoming out a little bit, and this track is already bumpy, so it's making things a little bit swervy. It seems like it's a problem that's been going on across the board. So, I guess a reflection of that is all the wrecks that have been going on tonight. But yeah.
Oh, copy that, William. Well, buddy, it's very good to see you're still alive. This season you have had some very, very bad luck, but it's been nice seeing you still keeping your head high, very determined to get the job done despite what the track always throws your way. Well, William, you have come a long way here in the top 10, so get up there, spank these boys, and have your first win of the season before the regular season ends for the chase next week. Have a good one, buddy, and good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
And that was the 21 of William Flamholt, starting right behind Travis Stewart on the outside line. Well, going back up front, we are being led by Gary Champion, who will be pushed by the 66 of Bobby Tinch. On the outside is the 4 of Justin Levine, being pushed by the 43 of David Anderson, going green this time by, let's see, we're going to be having 6 laps left until the end of the race. So Dave, the caution comes out in 2 laps from now. That will end the race under caution.
Yeah, and I'm just taking a look. Look at that third row. Look who's back here. Dwayne Cooper, but look on the outside. 77, Travis Stewart. He likes to wait to the end, and here he is up front. So this will be interesting as they are now coming through turn 3 into turn number 4.
Yep, coming towards the front when it really matters the most. He has stayed alive all race long tonight. And now the gloves are off. He is 3rd place in points. He was 3rd place in points starting tonight's race, but he will get higher from here. The points will be reset. Starting the chase next week, the pace car will be dipping off here shortly. The pace car is off. The green flag flies. Bobby Tinch all over the 18 of Gary Champion like fudge cake on Sunday. The observer Dwayne Cooper 3rd place on the inside behind the 6 of Bobby Tinch. On the outside, bunch stops over 77 of Travis Stewart, pushing on the 43 of David Anderson, trying to keep him glued to the back bumper of the 4 of Justin Levine before the entrance to turn number 1 off turn 2. They just might get that slingshot. We have Marty Ray, William Flamholt side by side, 7th and 8th place. Flamholt goes back down low behind 6'5" of Marty Ray, but then back up high in the middle lane behind 77 Travis Stewart. But so far, they goes back down low again. So William right now, Dave, trying to play both lanes, trying to get a run on Marty Ray and trying to get behind the 677 of Travis Stewart at the same time.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he's flirting with disaster, flirting with that apron as they are now coming out of turn 4. That is going to give us 5 laps to go when they cross the start and finish line here. Is the 4 of Justin Levine. That outside lane just doesn't look like it's going. Is Gary Champion is going to lead that lap as well. Here we go, 5 laps to go. Caution comes out. We will end this race under yellow. So will we get a green flag run here to the checkered, or will it end under yellow?
Yep, and now finally the outside line is getting bunched up as we speak. 7 Gregory Thompson, 77 Travis Stewart, 43 Dave Anderson, 4 of Justin Levine clears the inside. Actually wasn't quite clear, so he still decides to stay high behind. 7 of Greg Thompson is the 9 of Paul Servant. Paul Servant was rocking some damage early on in the race with his teammate Drew Woodford, but now has got a brand new machine. Will be behind the 7 of Gregory Thompson, trying to make some moves here before too long. With his teammates, but looks like his closest teammate so far is the 88 of Mark Jorgensen, who is way down behind the pack. Actually, he's in 14th place, only about 6 or 7 spots behind him. So we'll be trying to get up to him, but right now, Dave, the outside line is the place to be. The outside line is more bunched up, and the inside line has more bumps. And like we talked about, those drivers we spoke to are talking about how the machines are very pushy and they are trying their best. We have a wreck in the back. The 8 of Dana Osborne gets a piece of the action. They are in the wall, but the green flag still stays out. So those are the 8 of Dana Osborne. He was the 88 of Mark Johnson Jr. and the 32 of Jason Eisenhower.
Well, let's pull up the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay. Even though we got 3 laps to go, let's take a look here what happened with 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. He was running up in the 14th position here as we are focusing on 88 of Mark Jorgensen Jr. Him and his teammate made contact. 32, just an unlucky bystander, but tell you what, good job by them. They are going to keep it going and keeping it green flag racing here as we are going to go back up here to the front. Justin Levine now leading with the 43 of David Anderson right behind him. coming here to the start finish line, coming out of turn 4. They are going to be getting the 2 to go.
You have Justin Levine right now still trying to stay hooked to the 43 of Dave Anderson, but Anderson is trying his best to push him. But so far he's having some trouble due to not having any help on the rear end, any help to keep him glued to the back bumper of the 4 of Justin Levine. But we have, let's see, 2 laps left. Next flag will be the white flag. It is go time. It has been go time for the longest time possible. Travis Stewart right now is unhooked from the 43 of David Anderson. His next victim behind him is the 00 of Dwayne Cooper. And Dwayne trying to catch up to Travis Stewart, but it goes back down low to the inside. And Travis will go back down low. Nope, still stays high. And Ray Marino II is trying to make his appearance in the top 10 here behind Travis Stewart.
Yeah, as they come out of turn number 4, coming to the start-finish line, we are going to have the white flag. It is still green flag racing, so caution, if the yellow comes out, the yellow will not come out as we are under the white flag. Final lap here at Daytona.
We had an incident on the track, Dave. 16th Bobby Tinch and 9 of Paul Summer went sideways off the track, wrecking, and Bobby Tinch did hit the wall. But going up front, the 18 of Gary Champion on the outside and gets hit by some of Travis Stewart was trying to take it 3 wide. But Gary does defend his position. They will stay single file with the 4. Vin is suffering on the inside line. 18 of Champion goes back down to the inside. Some of Travis Stewart left out high and dry on the outside line. And Levine trying to push on the 18 of Gary Champion. Nope, he's trying to take it away, but so far has nowhere to go. It's going to be a 3-track race come start finish line.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're taking a look. Gary Champion is going to be tonight's winner here at Daytona 2007.
And we had a wreck there in exiting turn number 4. It looked like it was the position of Dwayne Cooper involved, including the 8 of Dana Osborne. Holy cow, very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved. And 7 of Gregory Thompson was involved. And then the 8 of Dana Osborne did take some serious flight. When I say serious, I mean serious flight after during the impact. But once again, top 3 drivers, they seen Gary Champion, Justin Levine, and Travis Stewart, 1, 2, 3 respectively. And that will give us some time for interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be interviewing top 3 drivers, Gary Champion, Justin Levine, and Travis Stewart. So stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined by the top 3 drivers, 18 Gary Champion, Justin Levine, and Travis Stewart, first through 3rd. Gary Champion having his first win of the season right before the regular race season ends. Before the chase begins, Gary Champion. Get a cup there, buddy. You got me, Gary? Okay, talking in the wrong room.
Yeah, we got you.
There you are. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Well, Gary, tonight you have been a front runner all race long. You qualified on the pole and stayed up there the best that you could. Tell us about your experience tonight for the final race of the regular season.
Yes, sir. That was a good run for the whole team we had going there. Finished 1-2, Checker One Motorsports. Had a good setup, good car.
Doing Checker One Motorsports proud indeed, and Gary, you are locked into this chase as well, which will make things very interesting. Hopefully you can be able to get crowned the new champion this season. How are you feeling going to this chase, man? How are you feeling?
As a team, I mean, we've just been progressing, getting better and better. Every week we just been up closer to the front. And it seems like we're just now starting to peak right at the right time.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Has been amazing seeing you guys Checker One Motorsports work as a team. Early on in the season, Gary, you had some bad luck, but you're able to pull through that and get yourself locked into this chase and work with your team for a common good. And tonight it has definitely paid off. And in this chase, you guys have nothing to worry about. But just will make things interesting when it comes down to the round of 4 for the final chase race. That will be really something to watch for. But once again, buddy, congratulations on your first win this season and being locked into the chase with your team. Any final words, buddy, before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank all the sponsors we have here in Cyber Racing. Thank Dwayne, all the work he puts into this league, best league around. Thank Zach Hale for the paint job, does a great paint job for us. The whole team we have, Justin, Jason, and Zach. Thank y'all for your broadcasting. You do a great job. Most of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that about do it.
Well, Gary, congratulations on your success tonight and all season long. Look forward to seeing you and your team, Checker One Motorsports, for the chase race number 1 next week at Talladega Super Speedway. Have a good night, buddy, and go continue your celebrations.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And that was Checker One Motorsports' own, the 18 of Gary Champion, one of the drivers here in the top 3. Right behind me is his teammate, the 4 of Justin Levine. You got a cup there, Justin?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, static.
Oh man, I can only imagine, man. You were up front all race long, qualified first and second. Checker One Motorsports, Gary Champion, and yourself. That was very, very impressive. How's your race tonight?
Oh, it was so much fun. Thank God we didn't get caught up in someone else's mess. I feel bad at the end. I got hooked a little bit coming through the tri-oval. I hit Bobby, sent him for a ride, and whoever else got involved, I feel bad about that. But it was a great race, great team effort, a lot of fun.
Oh, most definitely, and man, absolutely, it was amazing seeing you guys get involved in some incidents, but still staying alive to see the very end of the race and coming out in a 1-2 respectively, which was amazing to watch. And Justin, you two are locked into this chase, so we want to congratulate you on that as well. And how you, what do you think you need to work on before getting to the chase?
Honestly, if we can just execute how we did today, I think we'll be okay. We just gotta, be smart, avoid some wrecks, and try not to F up on pit road.
Oh, 10-4, that is all you can do. And man, all season long, Justin, you have been an amazing driver. I've said it, I'm pretty sure I've said this every single interview, that you are an amazing driver. And trust me, I mean it when I say that. So with that said, you and your team, you guys don't have anything to worry about. And hopefully you guys can be crowned the new champions of this season.
Hope so. I hope at least one of us.
Oh, most definitely. Well, Justin, before you go and final words.
I want to thank everyone that they put on a great show. I want to thank you guys. You guys do a great job. Gonna miss you next season. Thank Dwayne, all the sponsors, and thank my team and Zach Hall for painting this truck.
Well, you did Checker One Motorsports proud all season long, and look forward to seeing you and your teammates for Chase Race 1 next week, round of 16 at Talladega Super Speedway. Buddy, have a good night and go celebrate.
Thank you, you too.
And that was another Checker One Motorsports driver, 4 of Justin Levine. He has 1 win this season, also locked into the chase. And Gary Champion, his other teammate, having his first win this season, also locked into the chase. And next driver in line as well, locked into the chase with the Stewart Racing Crew, 77 of Travis Stewart. 3rd place in points for tonight's race. Good up there, Travis.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
We're doing great.
Well, Travis, you'd never cease to amaze us. Another amazing performance on your part here tonight at Daytona 2007. How's your race tonight? We had a little bit of complaints about the bad track conditions, with pretty much bad reactions versus track and car.
I had a good race. Ended up running, I'm pretty sure it's completely clean until I did a donut after the checker flag. Maybe got 1X at that, but race was good as always. This track's rough. Got to give a little extra room, especially to that bottom line. It's hard to hold that down there all the time when you're single file with a lot of cars on the inside and you're packed down with the cars on the outside. But a lot of wrecks tonight. Other than that, we had a pretty clean race for ourselves.
Oh, copy that. Very glad to hear that, Travis. And Travis, I talk about this every time, but all season long, you guys, you and Roger Stewart have stayed at the back of the pack. And you specifically have been able to maintain the top 5 in points all season long, and also getting yourself locked into the chase, including Roger Stewart, your teammate and father at the same time. How were you able to be successful despite being up front and racing really hard early on?
Most of our strategies with patience. These tracks like this, there's going to be wrecks. Takes out a lot of cars sometimes. Just try and stay clean, be there at the end, and give a hard charge with about a quarter of the race to go, and a little luck on our side, and it works out that way.
Oh, most definitely. And do you think that strategy is going to work out for you guys during the chase, or do you think you're going to have to change up your driving styles?
Definitely going to have to change a little bit. Each week it's going to get harder and harder. Should see a little bit more aggressiveness out of us. They're going to cut us pretty hard the first race, so got to make sure we finish as good as we can. So yeah, I'd say you'll be seeing us try and push up front a little bit earlier each week.
Oh, copy that. And that gives us something to even look forward to, something more to look forward to between you and your teammate Roger Stewart. You have been able to stay alive all season long, lock yourselves into the chase. So with that said, look forward to seeing you guys on the podium next week for Chase Race 1, Talladega Super Speedway. Any final words before you go? Any final words? Oh, Travis, I see your mic moving, but I don't hear any audio.
You there now?
Oh, got you. There we go.
Just real quick, you and David at Dre Broadcasting, my dad, Roger Stewart, for being here with me, and shout out to Dwayne Cooper, as always, for putting on such an awesome league. It's a blast. He does a good job with it. And my wife, Katie, for letting me enjoy this once again.
Well, congratulations on your success all season long and tonight, and congratulations on being locked into the chase. So look forward to seeing you and Roger Stewart with Stewart Racing back again for Chase Race 1 at Talladega. We'll go celebrate and get ready for next week's race.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Have a good one.
And that was the 77 of Travis Stewart representing Stewart Racing, with Roger Stewart finishing 3rd place here tonight, starting in 24th place, gaining 21 spots overall. What a heck of a race, Dave, it was tonight. We saw a lot of drives, a lot more take than give, and that was understandable. Last race of the regular season before the chase begins. So drivers try to take advantage of this this moment to get themselves locked into this chase. And going into this chase, we only had two drivers left to lock to two more spots left into the chase. So let me read off the drivers who are locked into the chase. Once again, we have Rod Newford, Paul Servant, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Bobby Tinch, Dana Osborne, Travis Stewart, Thomas Labar, Justin Levine, Raymond Ritner II, Sawyer Ott, Gary Champion, Jeremy Funk, Daniel Harrington, and Roger Stewart. So these drivers are locked into the chase, and next week we'll be finding out who are the last two drivers, the final two drivers who will be locked in to complete the round of 16 chase race number 1 next week at Talladega Super Speedway. Any final thoughts there, Dave?
Well, it's been a great season here with the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Summer Super Speedway Series. Can't wait to see the chase. It's going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tune in next Saturday night, same channel, same time, for the first race of the chase here for Cyber Racing Association.
Yep, and that race once again will be at Talladega Super Speedway. Talladega Super Speedway, that is wider track, a lot more side by side with the Can-Am cars. The fixed setups and higher speeds than the tracks that we race here tonight. So absolutely be sure to tune in, and thank you very much for tuning in here tonight for the final race, which was round number 12 of the Cyber Racing Association Drive for Autism Super Speedway Series by Cyber Racing Association and Drive for Autism with Dwayne Cooper. Well, the next broadcast we have is tomorrow night with the Precision Racing League American iRacing Sunday Series at Martinsville Speedway. That is Martinsville, with the B cars. So look forward to seeing you guys there if you'd like to see some more side-by-side action, some more racing as well. That will be tomorrow night at Martinsville Speedway. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly behind the cameras, and thank you guys for watching, and have a good night. See you next race.